Yep.
All right. Hey guys, Justin here, and I'm with my little Mustang Sunshine. He said he's happy to be here. I'm happy to be here. So we've demoed this in the past, but I want to show you again. Lead rope, halter setup. It's what we use to establish clear line of communication with our horses. I'll ask any horse that I come into contact with these 5 questions in the 5-part series. It's a series of 5 questions to get a deeper understanding of the horse. Horse gets a deeper understanding of me. Equipment is very important. 12-foot yacht cord, 1/4-inch rope halter, and this setup I've found over the past 20 years of playing with these horses this way is the best setup. 12-foot yacht cord just really is the right length. I like the heavy weight of it because I use less energy from me to transmit to the horse. This doesn't spread a lot of surface area over the horse's face, so he can get, it's more intensified. He can get a real precise cue from me with this pressure. So I'll start soft and I'll increase the intensity of the question to get the desired response. Release of that pressure is a thank you. So the equipment is real important in how we present that to the horse. If I had a real lightweight lead rope, I'd have to use a lot more energy from my body, when ultimately we don't even want to use ropes. We want him to watch our body. So if I just wiggle my finger and that energy is transmitted through the lead rope very effectively, I'll get the best setup for success in this establishment of communication. So the equipment's what we're focusing on today. This lead rope and halter setup, 12-foot yacht cord, I love it. And it allows me to ask my horses these questions in the 5-part series. So I'll ask him to go ahead and back out, and we'll start soft, increase the intensity of the pressure. I'll ask for him to get out there a pretty good distance, and then relax as a thank you. I'll ask him to move to his right, my left will just point, and then I can use the tail over here to drive to give him a clear understanding of what I'm asking. So that tail on that lead rope, this is a 12-foot yacht cord, gives me the ability to have an extension of my arm. We could put our horse in a nice, calm, quiet circle. If he's in too close, I can touch him, say, hey, get out there on your circle. He's like, come here? That's a good question there, Sunshine. But I'll just touch him if I can, and it shows him get out there on a bigger circle.
So, question here.
Yes?
When he asked a question, which was he was checking whether or not you wanted him to move out or come in, how and you didn't change any of your body language or anything like that. You did not say no, you're wrong. Would you like to address sort of the idea of, you know, that it's okay for them to ask questions?
Oh yeah, this is a get a deeper understanding of the horse, and the horse get a deeper understanding of me. We're following rules, concepts, priorities for success, belief system, philosophies. So to elaborate on that, the horse has a voice. If I'm asking him a question, I'm guiding. Once I ask it, I turn into observer. I'm going to watch his feedback. If he does something, which was a question of, what does that mean, Justin? Do you want me to come to you, or do you want me to keep going? I've got to realize I need to be more clear in what it is I'm asking. Right there's a question. I'll just be real clear and ask him to go in the direction that he was going in. The philosophy of that is, I want him to be able to be himself. I want him to not fear asking a question. If he's asking a question, I ask a question. Then we can start this feedback loop where he will present what he expects, I will present what I expect, and we get a deeper understanding of each other in this relationship. So it's very, very important to allow a horse to present something, watch their feedback, make changes, present again, so that you get desired results. Like him stopping and looking over there. I could have stepped on the gas and said, hey, keep going. But he was just curious of what they were doing, and then about the time that I would ask, he started going again. And if I was on his back, that's what I like to pretend. I'm on his back. And I'm going to ask these questions the same way. I'm going to let him be who he is. And I will change from observer to guide as needed. And on a Mustang in the real world, focused riding, sometimes that's just really what I love to do because that's their environment. I'm actually a guest in nature with this horse. He's going to show me better ways to do a lot of things. So if I get out of his way, you've heard people say, get out of their way. That's what that means. Let's let them show us what it is that they naturally do and naturally do very well. So hopefully that answers the question. But I'm going to push his hip, create some draw. I'd like to point out that this equipment is very important, but as you use it more and more, you depend less and less on it. We could go at liberty one day. I don't want to depend on having to halter my horse and having to use ropes to communicate. Just like when I'm transferred to their back, I don't want to have to continuously use reins for the rest of our life. Each time I ride him, I'm going to depend less and less on my reins, more and more on my thoughts, more and more on my presentation with my body and my seat and my legs. He'll appreciate it more because it's not tugging on his face. He can actually move freely, and we can go together, and with subtle leg cues, seat cues, thinking, we can start a feedback loop in that way and have what I like to call truest form of communication. It's been called true unity. You're moving together freely and experiencing life together with no interruptions. So this equipment is a starting point. This lead rope and halter, it's a starting point. And as you go further and further in the relationship together, you depend less and less on it to communicate. So in other words, we pull the bridle off one day or the halter off one day and we start asking questions. We can even play with it on there. Obviously he's ground tied, but I could tie it around his neck so that he could get an understanding of, yeah, you're free to move. You can actually move around. And we'll just give it a little test. And we'll see what happens. So if I'm here with my horse, come back over here and we'll get back in the center here. If I wanted him to back up, I would pretend that I had the rope in my hand and I'll just motion with my hand. He's looking at my hand. Just keep that there. We don't want to push him away, but we're going to start soft, increase the intensity, and release it when he does. If I wanted him to move in a direction, I'll just point in the direction I'd like him to go. I want to keep him a lot closer than normal so we don't break this energy, and I'll ask him to move in a direction. I'll step out and ask him to move in a direction. And I pretend that I have that rope in my hand. If he starts to break out of that circle, I'll push that hip, create some draw, bring him back in, ground tie, rub him to a stop. So it's the same body motions without the rope. I haven't done that much with him and I don't want to push him too fast too soon, but these little incremental steps and going into liberty is how you would do it. So let me turn him this direction so you can see this one more time. That 12-foot yacht cord can make you a nice rein. I would tie it a little bit better, but make you a nice rein so it's not 14 feet where you have too much rope. It's not 10 feet where you don't have enough rope. It's just dialed in to about the perfect length, 12 foot. And that's what I really enjoy. So lead rope halter is where we're going to start our communication in the 5-part series. We're going to depend less and less on it as time goes on. Then we'll transfer to a bitless bridle. And again, bitless bridle will depend less and less on it as time goes on. Thank you.